Cap to cap.
There it is.
Bro, that was clean as fuck, man. Jason, you should do that for a living or something, bro. That was nice.
Yeah, that's the plan.
It's like he should dive all in and just know that he's really, really talented and go for it type thing. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. On that note, I had planned to play the video because I thought it would translate well in audio, and it does.
Sure.
But I thought it did a good job at telling Greg's story. So today we have my boy Greg Taylor. Known him for at least, I think, 5-6 years now?
Yeah, man. I think it's right at 6.
Yeah. And you're doing something badass, as we just heard, man. So what's up, buddy? How in the hell did you come up with this, and where and what is the plan for pooping?
Yeah. Yeah.
Number one question.
You know, somehow of all the people I've talked about this, you're the first one who's had the balls to ask about it. Like, seriously, like that's a major issue that I think deserves discussion, right?
It does.
All right, hold on. Let's get boring real quick.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, everybody at one point in their lives, especially as we grow older, have closer family members that get older. They've experienced a loss with cancer, or at least somebody that's struggling with it, right? So, you know, it's an easy platform to kind of encapsulate everybody's, you know, imagination and something that they want to follow a journey of. So, you know, I have personally lost an aunt that I've never really gotten over that moment. And I've kind of wanted a minute to kind of, you know, I was 17 years old when she passed, and I didn't feel like I left it in a great place. So I'd love to mentally be able to, you know, have that moment to get over that during this ride. And as well as give back to so many people in the Jacksonville area that are afflicted or affected by, you know, a terrible disease or a financial burden that comes with that. So it kind of all came together at a perfect time. Kat, the founder of Kima Noir, is actually a personal friend. I met her serving tables, and she was the first one that ever convinced me to, you know, take anything in my life a step further, believe in myself, and kind of follow some passions. So when I called her to tell her what I was kind of thinking about 10 or 11 months ago, she jumped on board immediately, and it kind of went from there. We started reaching out to sponsors. We started, you know, getting the marketplace set up, the donation portfolio, you know, the website, the whole 9 yards. So it was kind of a perfect, you know, accumulation and moment where all those things came together and made it very clearly what was supposed to happen. And it's just kind of gone from there. Can't believe we're talking about this 9 days away from leaving. It seems like, you know, the last 10 months have been dedicated to this. So. So more importantly, I think you asked a second question.
Yeah, it's the most important.
More importantly, clearly.
Right?
What are we doing about the pooping? I mean, yeah.
I mean, we talked about it before, man. And first off, and we'll dive into it into pooping in a second. But I gotta ask, like, when it comes, we always do, right? When it comes to actually choosing, like, all right, how are we going to get the brand out? How are we going to get the awareness? Like, why did you go right to cycling? Because I said this prior to introducing you. I said, you and I talked about, like, how you would market this. And I thought one of the biggest components was that you're an amateur. You weren't a cyclist. I don't even know if you really biked for fun beforehand. So that just seems like a really out there random thing to say, hey, let's do this. Let's do this in 6 months. Let's go across the country, blah, blah, blah. It just seemed very planned for an amateur. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, it was honestly, just as you described it, it was kind of super random. You know, I kind of wanted a cool interface to be able to connect and bring this to a national platform. And I don't think there's a cooler way to see the country or state by state than 14 to 17 miles an hour when you can stop as many times as you need to take pictures. So, you know, I've seen Jacksonville 50,000 times, 70,000 times. Me and my wife enjoy being out. We enjoy, you know, hitting up cool breweries and doing the whole nine. And I've seen things in this own city in the last 10 months that I've never seen before ever. And it's because I was on a bike and I had the time to stop and enjoy it and actually see where I am. So, awesome. You know, that idea across 33 different states and across 6 months just genuinely gives me goosebumps. And I think that's, you know, one of the main considerations personally, but also it's a super cool challenge that I think everybody can get behind. Like, I wonder if you can do this in 6 months. Like, shit, I wonder if I can do this in 6 months, right? Like, it's set up pretty well. I mean, the mileage is what the mileage needs to be. I have an exact plan going in, and as Jason will tell you, I'm pretty headstrong. So I definitely want to make it exactly back in 6 months' time. So, you know, that's the goal. That's what I laid out in front of me, and you know, that's what I'm excited to try to bring to Jacksonville. I'm ready to connect some communities and bring some people together to watch this happen.
I see you got a wedding ring on your hand as you adjusted your hat there. How's this gonna work out? 6 months? Is she coming with you, or Like, what's going on with that?
Super fair question. Believe it or not. So, like 6 months exactly would be August 20th. And then our wedding anniversary is August 27th. So,
you better make it back, brother.
that's another
Cut that
thing.
one close, bro.
She's made it very clear that, oh, you're not back by August 20th. You will be back by August 27th, regardless if that's a plane, a car, on the bike, or whatever you need it to be.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing is we need to make it happen. You know, I set a goal, and there's a ton of people involved now to where this is a community. Like I've built a spot where I have not built a spot. This team, including Jason, who's helped a ton throughout, has kind of built a community around this thing, and it's gotten bigger than itself. So I'm doing it for every person that's been involved from the beginning. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for any other reason to, provide kind of a cool spotlight on something that needs a bigger spotlight on it, and connect Jacksonville in the ways that I really think we can.
So Jason says like that you're an amateur biker. Like what? How amateur are we talking?
Yeah,
here?
my
Like,
bad. I kind of skipped over that. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, like I go for a bike ride on the bike trail here every now and again. You got to know. I hope you're a little better than this.
Yeah. So the first time I took the bike out, like I'm a decent CrossFit athlete, decent to good CrossFit athlete. That's how Jason knows me. Competed at Wadapalooza this year, which is a decent, like high level regional level tournament. So definitely have some skills there, like an athletic background from CrossFit. So, we are cocky as shit. We're just like, we can do whatever we want at all times. And I just decided yeah, and we can do whatever we want. And, I am Superman, so I just decide. No, I'm kidding. But no, we just, we're pretty cocky, and I was. And I said, I'm just going to, bike 100 miles a day. It's no big deal. We're just going to do this, and that's fine. Thank God that was like 10 months ago. And I took a practice ride, and I put in 100 miles, and I thought I had rhabdo. Like, I thought I was dying. Not sure what happened. Was peeing brown, just not sure what was going on, right? So thank God that was 10 months ago, and I hadn't decided to be that stupid a month ago. And then I actually had to set some plans in action, take a step back, analyze myself as an athlete, and see what could actually get me there, because I was ready to quit at that point, right? Fortunately, I found a super nice guy in the bike community who wanted to coach me up and wanted to show me what it was actually going to take. My mom gave me her Peloton to train on, and we got going. We started climbing hills. We started putting in 70, started 50, then went 60, 70, 80, all the way up to 100-mile days just to know it's in the tank, and then you can turn around and do it again. So it's been a progressive overload, the same as getting strong is or getting fit is. And, we've just been taking it a day at a time, attacking all the weaknesses possible. And honestly, right now, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place to attack day one and just, get 85 miles under the belt and go from there.
That's awesome, man.
Speaking of you being Superman, you never answered the poop question.
That's really what we need to know.
Yeah, we should
did adult diapers ever like cross the mind, or was that just kind of like no?
Not yet, but now that you've thrown it out, into the abyss, it's highly considered, right? So what's cool about kind of the route that I'll be taking is it goes through a ton of like the smaller towns. So, instead of hitting, I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a good example. Instead of hitting Houston, right, you're going to hit those exterior cities that go right around it to stay out of the major city. So there is, in most days, I'm going to see stores, I'm going to see shops, I'm going to see restaurants, right? Let's be honest, utilize what you can, take advantage of what's around you on those days. Make sure to load up on water, make sure to load up on food, and make sure to drop a deuce in their toilet before you head out. Like, that's obvious. But if we're getting into it, there will be some, some baby wipes carried and some things that are done along the way that we're not going to discuss after.
We're going to forget about this is happening. Because, like,
never happened.
This is going to be we got to have a follow-up show, I think.
100%.
Like people have asked me, like, dude, what's 6 months? Like, your wife's only meeting you 3 or 4 times. Like, what's going on in that tent? I'm like, don't ask about the tent, man. I'm like, if you don't want to hear about the tent, don't worry about it.
What happens in the tent stays in the tent.
Yeah, everybody knows about the tent. So, like, that was my thing. As I said he's going around the country. The first thing that I said about it that freaks me out, it's not the like endurance part or the physical part. It's being alone part that I was 100%. Like, I think people are underestimating the alone part. For me, at least, like when I get to that like desert situation where you're like nowhere land, that scares the shit out of me. I'm like, just you and tumbleweeds. I'm like, I don't want to fuck with that.
Dude, I get it, man. I learned quickly there's a difference between, and this is kind of getting serious, but like I'm trying to keep it like light, but it's a serious tone. There's like physical pain that you can keep a threshold of, right? And then there's mental pain for being like in CrossFit. Like we accept that for 8 to 10 minutes, and that's kind of a mental endurance thing, or I'm sorry, like a mental tolerance thing. And then there's mental endurance, and it's being okay with just like sitting on your bike for 6 hours and just being okay with sitting machine-like and going at it. And I was stupid weak on that part. I learned quickly. Like I'd get to an hour and like I might not have been in pain, but I didn't want to do it anymore. Like I was just like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah. This is awful. So I think with that, learning the mental endurance, I've taught myself a lot about being alone with myself. So, fortunately, I've been able to train a little bit of that, but that isn't to say that I'm not legitimately concerned about 4 nights in a row of not seeing anybody. I'll have some books, have some podcasts, have my phone, but most likely I'll be, out of GPS. I won't be able to, social media. Plus, I won't want to waste the battery. There's going to be a lot of time with myself to think on some serious thoughts along the way.
Yeah. Do you have like spots laid out of like dead zones where there's not going to be signal and stuff like that? Is that like available?
Yeah, especially the southern tier. So from here to San Diego, I hit like 2-day stretches where you boys just need to hope for the best. You're not going to hear from me much. So, there's about
that's right there. That's the part that I'm saying is like is
that's a hard pass.
Yeah, I do. I get it, man. Yeah. It's just one of those things that I've told myself. Like, listen, the bike's going to break. It just is. 100%. Like it's going to break. The tires are going to pop. I'm going to hit rain pockets, everything that you can imagine. I'm ready for because they're going to happen, period. Yeah. Right. Like that's just one of those that I mentally accepted the fact that I'm going to be out of communication from human beings for 2-day stretches. And I just need to be okay with that if I'm going to take this off.
Some of these smaller towns got some sketchy ass people. Are you prepared for sketchy ass people?
So
you pull over to take a shit.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
Fucking Florida man's over here trying to fuck with your bike.
I like your bike, boy.
I like your bike,
dude,
boy.
You got some pretty tires.
Purdy looking tires you got there.
Yeah. I tasked my dad with exactly one job, and it was protection, right? So I said, "Hey, Dad, you need to do nothing for me but make sure I can always take care of myself." So he looked up all the legalities, and I'll be carrying a very sharp, very nice knife at all times.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you guys. I was gonna go strapped. Like
you almost have to.
What's the law there? I was always curious because my dad, every time that like I go for a trip with Emily, he's like, put the gun in the car. I was like, Dad, I don't know the laws. Who gives a shit about the laws? I was like, I give a shit about the laws, and I'm too lazy to look it up. So like, what's the like? Can you go state by state? Like, how does that work?
That was the tough part, man. I was going to go strapped with it on my leg the entire time and never take it off. Yeah. And then, of the 33 states, Florida concealed works in 14 of them. So that means I'm shipping it home half the time, shipping it to myself in the next state. The Florida concealed is a joke, to be honest. Not many states accept it as legal basis to carry. So, I was done there. So I went immediately to knife and bear spray for the animals, for sure.
They've been reading those Florida man stories. Other states are like, we read about those Florida men.
They saw the Tampa Bay Super Bowl highlights, and they're like, "No, we're good."
Yeah. Facts, dude. What's
Tom
cool though
Brady's
is
drunk ass
on your site you have a tracker though, right? So like people can actually track you on the site.
100%. As long as I have a GPS location, you can see up to the minute. So I'm going to try and also do like the metrics of what I rode that day because I do have a Garmin that somebody gave me to use, which was super nice. It takes about a 15th, a 20th of the battery life that it does out of your phone to keep the GPS on. So definitely going to utilize that as much as I can. But yeah, just keep my GPS on. And it actually shows like where is Greg, like up to like a 25-second, 30-second delay. It's pretty dope.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
It's awesome, yeah.
I mean, we're going to plug it later, but what's the website?
USACancercycle.com. We actually lucked out when we first started hitting the marketing and the website and everything. We got all the social medias somehow were the same exact thing. So I mean, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook group, and the website are all USA Cancer Cycle. It was super easy.
That's awesome, man.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was gonna say I've been following your TikTok Holy shit, you're fucking hilarious, bro.
Oh, dude.
That's it. You're a great follow, man. I love it.
No, hey, that's super nice. Like 6 months ago, I was like huge into it. Like I was legitimately trying to create a following for this ride, right?
Yeah.
And I totally am going to get back on it on the road when I have a little bit of time. But I've just been really wrapped up in stuff. I couldn't believe how much planning has had to go into this and how much, potential outreach we've gotten. So I've taken a lot of time off. But I'm also weirdly on Pakistani TikTok.
Let's
and
go.
for the last like 3 weeks, I only get Pakistani followers who beg me to follow them back. So I've been nice about it, and I'm like, dude, that's cool. Like, down to be big in Pakistan. But at the same time, I will write them all a message to be fair. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I follow you? We don't speak the same language. And that's all I say. And if a single one of them responds in English, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'll follow you back. No worries. But not a single one has. So it's, I don't really know what's going on.
You're probably over there like a celebrity in Pakistan, man.
Yeah.
I saw one shirt, but that's all. So far, it's only been one. Not kidding.
Oh, wait, no. I thought you meant like you sold one shirt in Pakistan. I'm like, wait, what's going on? So like it's actually trending?
Sick.
That would be sick, bro.
Dope, dude.
Yes.
Now I should try. Holy
Absolutely.
Jason shirt for a follow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, everybody wants a free shirt. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Hell
shirt
yeah.
for a follow. No question.
So I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast prior to introducing you, but like you are treating yourself once in a while, right? You're going to go in a hotel and stuff like that and relax, or are you going purely tent only?
No question, man. It's got to be, again, speaking to that mental endurance, you need a mental reset, right? My dad is going to follow me from Jacksonville to Austin, which is a super cool father-son experience, but also he's just worried. He's a dad. He wants to make sure I get off to a good start. And when we get there, we're buying a hotel. We're going to take the entire day. I'm going to take a full rest day, enjoy Austin as a city, get to spend it with my dad, and then head off, towards San Diego after that. But anytime that I'm feeling, like that call's coming where I'm in the middle of the mountains and I can't pedal another mile and, I see a motel, I'm jumping in, man. Or the call meaning I'm coming home and I'm not finishing this thing. Like, let's reset, take a second in a bed with a shower when you can plug in your electronics and just see where the night takes you. So for sure, I'm going to use them as retreats, man. I mean, I sometimes a bed and a hot shower is just going to be the ultimate thing to save a lot of worries.
Where are you cutting? I mean, like I feel like this shit would cost a lot of money. Where are you cutting corners here? Like, give us some like inside tricks for biking the nation and saving money at the same time.
No, very fair, dude. You got to remember, dude, this is, you let me know if you have any, you know what I mean? This is my first time too, other than like a 3 or 4 day trip. I've done a couple just to throw up the tent and sleep on the ground and feel the experience. But, I have it, I have a decent budget. I was able to have a good year at work before I left work. And then my sponsors stepped up huge and, allowed me to actually take this thing on to where every single dollar goes back to charity, which was the intention from the beginning. That's what I wanted. I never wanted it to be like, oh, we're paying for Greg to bike, like super weird. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it to be like, oh, every dollar is going to a cancer charity. This is super dope. And that's what happened. So, I have myself on a very strict budget. It's pretty much, restocking bars and supplies and food and Gatorade at all times whenever I need to, right? But it's also, maybe a snack mid-meal because I don't like riding heavy. And then it's as much food as I can possibly pile down my mouth after I finish, wherever I happen to be that day. So literally just an accumulation of calories from about 3 p.m. until I go to bed.
Gotcha.
But on the budget question, so that's the plan, but the budget needs to stay under, $35-40 a day. In doing so, that could mean 2 large pizzas. Like I'm way down with that. That's $20 and we're rolling, man.
Yeah. It's not like you're not gonna burn the calories off, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be actually a super not clean eating experience. I'll probably drop weight, but it's just strictly calorie accumulation.
He's gonna Napoleon Dynamite and just stick chicken nuggets in his pockets like Ronald McDonald. Yo, he's having a deal. It's $20 for a dollar.
Like, are you kidding me? No. If that's a deal, dude, I'm just piling up for the week. I'm just having chicken nuggets.
They ain't gonna go bad. Yeah, for sure.
Like a backpack of chicken nuggets.
Yeah, you're either gonna be in like ice cold like environment and they're gonna freeze and you're gonna like be able to keep them for long, or it's gonna be scorcher out there and they're cooking, so you're fine. Like no matter what, like you're not
ready to roll.
You're good.
You're gonna go into the store to take a poop and chicken nuggets are gonna be falling out of your your pocket.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
And butt, no doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dude. Seriously though, like, I mean, I've been talking to many people who've done not this before. This is pretty absurd, but they've done long rides, and they're like, hey, if there's a Burger King for $3, hit a large Burger King shake. You never have to stop riding. You can drink it the whole way. You get 800 calories for $3.
Yeah.
Pile it in. And I'm like,
Boom.
wow, okay, there you go. So, the possibilities are truly endless on the food spectrum, boys. There will be pizza. There will be a shit ton of tacos.
Yeah.
And now I know there will
Love
be chicken
it.
nuggets.
Yeah.
There you
Chicken
go.
nuggets are coming.
Is there a state or a place that you're like most excited to bike through?
It's the most excited and the most terrified. For sure, it's the mountains of the
Okay.
Pacific Northwest, man. So I'm trying to hit like a full Mount Rainier experience, and Jacksonville is a fucking pancake. Like, how am I supposed to train for the hills, dude?
Yep.
Like, I'm trying my absolute hardest to put like, different intentions on my training and hit different stimulus and hit the energy system manipulation the best I can on a Peloton and some downtown Jacksonville bridges, but it just can't exactly mimic a 2,000 foot climb up Mount Rainier. It just can't. So I'm terrified. It's going to be awful. It's going to hurt super bad, and it's also going to be the prettiest time that I get. So it's definitely a double-edged sword with that whole thing.
You should be able to see from Mount Rainier, because Mount Hood, when I lived in Portland, Mount Hood, you can see Mount Rainier. What's the volcano that erupted?
St. Helens?
St. Helens is over there. You can see like 4 mountains from one peak. Like from each mountain, you can see all the other mountains. It's pretty dope.
Incredible.
Did you say Everest? Did you say Everest?
Yes, he
Did
said
you just say Everest?
Yes,
Wow.
he said Everest.
Wow.
Evan, with an Everest, dude?
Yeah. You're going to
Y'all
Everest,
didn't know?
bro. That's
It
exciting.
erupted, and then it became taller. That's why it's the tallest mountain.
Yeah,
Kevin-
I thought you said interrupted. Interrupted.
I'm thinking about hitting K2 in the middle of Kentucky as well.
Yeah, dude. Just veer to the left and you'll hit K2, bro. It's right there.
You won't.
Dude, hire like a double Sherpa and just give him my bike with all 80 pounds on it and just be like, dude, double team this thing. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Bro, that's sick. What's the river there? The big ass river that
Mississippi?
cuts. No,
Mississippi?
goddamn, you're way off here.
I figure I'd just keep going with it.
Yeah, it's the one that cuts between Washington and Oregon. Oh my God, it's one of the biggest rivers in.
Oh,
the
I'm
United
not sure.
States.
I mean, I know the Colorado, but that's closer to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
I don't know. No,
It'll
actually,
come to me. It'll come to me later on in the episode, and you're not even going to be here. And I'm going to be like, Greg, it's
Or
this.
Jose's
And then
gonna fact check us and just pretend like he knew all along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumbass, it's the Karen River. Everybody knows that.
But Jason, I've never been to your hood up there, man. I've never seen a single second of the Pacific Northwest. I've never seen California above San Diego. Like,
Bro.
it is a new world coming to me.
Same here, brother. That'd be awesome.
It's one of the only natural rainforests in the United States. Like people forget about that up there, man. It's so seeing the redwoods and so where Oregon is, they get a hybrid. So these trees are massive, and so I never got to see a redwood until I went down south. So I'm looking at Oregon's, and Oregon has these massive trees. I'm like, damn, these are big. And then I get down to California where the actual redwoods are, and I'm like, what the hell is happening?
What is that?
Like seeing the photos doesn't do it justice. When you come up to a tree that's
Sure.
this big, that just makes you look like an ant, smaller than an ant. Like I can't wait till you see that. I think that's gonna blow your mind.
Put it in some, perception for me. Are we talking like you're walking up to like the size of like a Jeep Cherokee, or like, I mean,
Like a
five of them,
skyscraper.
or
Like a skyscraper.
God.
Width-wise,
to me, it's like a
Width-wise.
natural sky. The
Yeah.
width-wise, like a natural skyscraper. That's how I felt as when I saw it for the first time. I'm like, what the hell? This is a
No.
tree? Like this
Nah, it
can't
doesn't
be a
make
tree.
sense.
Yo,
Well,
there's
I've seen the picture of the one where it's like they
You can
cut
drive
a hole
through it.
through it and you could drive through it.
yeah, and there's
Like what the fuck?
there's trees there where there's stores. There's stores inside the trees.
No, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Chill out.
Bro, it's sick. You're gonna.
That's
I
cool.
can't wait till you get to know. I think the Northwest will easily be probably obviously challenging, but it will be the
Yeah.
most mind blowing for you for sure.
Wow, man. Nothing past north of San Diego for me at all. So
Yeah.
that's incredible. I did route the entire system with the woman who, I wouldn't have got it done without her. It took her. She does this. Like I paid her to help me route this right through my platform, and it
awesome.
still took her 2.5 months, right? Like it was a very large undertaking to route this thing. Cause you got to bring up like Google Earth to make sure you're on the road. Then you got to bring up like Strava heat waves to make sure that it's like a congruent system of roads that's still leading into where you're trying to go. And then you have to route it after that. Like it's a massive process, and I'm super happy I found her. She was a lifesaver. Wouldn't have happened without her for sure. But the point of this was I routed it through. I asked her, number one, for safety, never take me off roads. I can't travel in gravel because of my bike. And then number two, I want to go through every national forest that possibly opens itself up. So I think we're hitting 17 national parks in total.
Sick.
So everything from the Carlsbad Canyons to the Redwoods to Yellowstone and everything in between. So that was like the number one routing goal. Goal for sure.
Columbia River, that's what it is. Damn it.
Yeah, it is.
Like, there it is. I knew it was gonna come. But
are you close?
Are you going to Crater Lake by chance? Are you going around there?
I could look. I don't know. Honestly, I've had so many like individual like, hey, are you hitting this? And I'm like, man,
maybe. Sure. Like I'll be in the vicinity. I'll promise you that.
My favorite question has been like, hey, if I reserve like June 21st at my house for you to stay, are you going to be there that night? And I'm like, bro, like, you got to give me like a 3-week timeline.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I have no clue. Yeah, I don't know what state I'll be in.
I was just is there like when you're talking about the routing and everything, it made me think like, is there any possibility? I don't want to scare you, but that you could get lost?
100%. I will get lost. Yeah. That's one of those that you got to accept. You got to learn to make some judgment calls on the fly, understand the general area of where you're headed, and get back on track. I mean, roads are going to be closed. Things are going to be under construction. You need to be able to make real-time calls, and that's why I've been doing a ton of, actually, believe it or not, city riding, because it's probably the hardest riding you can do. People suck, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I've had like bags of trash thrown at me, like while I have my headphones in, and I'm just like head down.
What?
You know what I mean? It's the most bizarre shit in the world that people do to bikers that they just think is okay. Like I had a McDonald's bag of trash thrown at me at a stoplight, and it was just like,
fuck.
All right. Like, yeah, no. But
fuck?
Yeah, and then like it's stop and start like crazy. So believe it or not, like that desert riding that you picture is smooth sailing, man. Like I keep 16 miles an hour and I'm rolling. It's the city, like people, it's the city stop and go. It's all of that stuff that sucks. So routing through those back towns where you never really have to take a break is the easiest way. Like when I go 25 miles riding through Jacksonville for practice to make calls on roads and to cut myself off and learn to use my GPS, that is the worst 25 miles ever. I feel like I'm just there forever. When you get 25 miles like out at the Baldwin Trails, when I'm back and forth and that's a quick 30, it's like, oh man, this is incredible. Like this is just the easiest day.
So like you picked, what did you say, 14 miles an hour?
No, so I try to keep it right at like 15 and a half. If the wind's with me, I've seen myself sit at like 17 max. And I mean, if it's a rainy, windy day in my face, dude, I'm pushing 12 and a half, 13 max.
I don't know what's good or bad. Is that like kind of pushing it a little bit, you think? Or you think that's kind of like an average pace for a cyclist? Like,
so I have a steel frame bike. It's built exactly for this. It's built for reliability, that it's going to be ready to go every day. It can carry the 80 pounds and it's always going to be ready to be ridden, right? Like, if you see a street cyclist like really putting in work, like he's head down, no gear, he's there for speed, he's probably sitting at like 22 to 24. But like if he's crushing it, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm doing okay for the weight that I'm carrying and the style of bike that I have, but it's by no means fast. It's definitely an endurance pace versus a sprint.
Yeah. But I mean, is that like what a normal pace would be if someone was doing this? If that's even like relatable?
Yeah. No, sure. Yeah. I've ridden with people who, have just jumped in with me and been like, hey, can I, you want to hang out for like 10 miles kind of thing on the trails and stuff. I'm like, yeah, no doubt. And we stay perfectly parallel. So I don't think I'm slacking by any means, but the weight just catches up. I mean,
that's what I was going to say. You said 80 pounds?
Yeah.
80 pounds. That's your, like what you're going to try to keep it at the whole trip? Like no more than 80?
There's like a frame. So the middle of the bike is the frame, and I have a frame pack on mine. Then I have two big 2-liter bladders on both sides. So I always have about 1.5 gallons of water. So that's on there to start. Then there's 4 bags and all the racks that hold the bags at all times. So yeah, everything all in, it's like 80 pounds. And then I'm a big ass dude. So it's not like a lightweight being carried on that bike.
Damn.
I know, right? The more like he talks, the more I'm like, bro,
that's what I was saying.
Dude?
Like I said it earlier, man. I was like, the more you just kind of think about it and get away from like, because I think we've been desensitized by like crazy things that people do. But if you just kind of focus on the fact that like like the map alone just going around, and you chose that too, right? The timing because of like winter versus summer and all that kind of stuff. Like go
for sure, man.
Okay, I was wondering about that because of the timing.
Sorry, cut you off. My bad, Jason. You had to pick. I was doing hot states while cold, so I left February 20th because if I hit Texas and it's 40, that's better than 145 or whatever the hell it gets to over there, right? So, and then we get up into the Northeast, and like that's my jam, dude. Hit me with some 85-degree days, and I'll ride home the entire way. I don't want to be fucking snowing in Boston, like no interest.
Yeah, right.
So, cold states while hot states while cold, and to that point, dude, again, I can't emphasize enough that I will not allow myself to conceptualize 11,500 miles. Like, I have to, on February 20th, give everybody my absolute best shot at finishing 75 or 85 miles.
Yeah.
I have to recover the best I can. I have to stretch. I have to eat. And I have to find a way to sleep so that I can get up on February 21st and go 75 more miles. Like, that is all I'm allowing myself to picture is that day-by-day grind and try to enjoy the moment. Because if you, like you said, if you start picking up that 11,500 miles and you're like, okay, man, just get this done. Fuck that. No, I'm good. Like, it's not happening. Like, I'm not doing it.
All I'm thinking about is that Rent song where he's like 5,600. Like, I feel like that's what I'd be singing the whole time, like while I'm biking. Like,
Jason, can you repeat the song for me?
No, definitely not. It's not even close. I am guarantee you I didn't even get the numbers correct. Like, I'm not even gonna.
I thought you were gonna say I will walk 500.
Yeah, that one too.
That's where I thought you were going with it.
There's so many bad puns that we can throw in here.
Right. You know that song "On the Road Again," like the old.
On the road again.
Yes.
Willie Nelson, right?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I'm thinking about just doing that on repeat for 6 months.
Yeah, that's how you go insane. That's how you go insane.
100%. You're gonna come back. You're like, I did it.
I did it. and your wife's
Greg,
gonna think you get murdered.
Why did you do peyote in Texas 7 times? Like,
Facts, man. Absolutely. I have no idea how I did this. I think it's the first time on our podcast, but I skipped over Florida Man. And that was what I was supposed to introduce you with. So we're gonna play Florida Man now before we jump into the bracket. So it's a little late. Guys are probably freaking out right now, and they're like,
we have an actual Florida man with us today too. Like we have 4 Florida men today.
Florida Man bikes around the entire United States of America in 6 months.
On it. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was a headline that we saw that one of the local channels wrote.
I think News4Jax actually threw it up as that.
Yeah,
I think that was the headline of their story.
Stop.
Yeah,
it.
it might.
That's
I think.
awesome.
Yeah, it's perfect. All right, let's play Florida Man. All right, so for everybody tuning in, this is usually the time that I will read a Florida Man headline. It's a real headline. I will leave out a blank, and you guys will try to figure it out. This one is out of Tampa, and Florida Man tries to trade blank for beer, gets cited. Florida Man tries to trade blank for beer, gets cited.
Is there a pattern of who guesses first?
No, it's spout it. Go.
It's absolutely, if he got cited, it's got to be marijuana.
Marijuana? Trades marijuana for beer? I like it.
I'm going meth. That's
Going
the
drugs?
number
I
one
like it.
Florida man answer. It's definitely methamphetamines.
I like how you say the full name. Thank you.
I was gonna say meth. Now mine's fucking taken. You son of a bitch.
Yeah,
That's why I went first.
I'm gonna stick with the drug guess and say cocaine. Cocaine.
Cocaine. Cocaine.
Look, cocaine.
One of us has to be correct for the record. Like, we did get it right.
No.
Shit.
Florida. This is great. I mean, the answer is pretty awesome.
Is it baby turtles? Because I don't fucking kill
close.
somebody.
Very close. Florida man tries to trade alligator for beer, gets cited.
Come on.
How the hell did we not guess this?
In Tampa, huh? All right.
What? Is there no alligators in Tampa?
There are. There's definitely alligators in Tampa. It's just not the first place in Florida I think of alligators.
Wait. We need to really question also what he got cited for.
So I got you for that.
No.
A Florida man walked into a convenience store with a 4-foot alligator and tried to trade it in for a 12-pack of beer, according
There
to
it is.
wildlife authorities, who cited him for illegally capturing the animal.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And probably bringing into a store probably isn't legal either.
It's not the best idea.
Just walking into a gas station, be like, "Hey, man."
Yeah. Greg was like about to like lose his shit because he's like, wait, are you citing this guy just for trying to trade an animal for beer? I feel like that's
How
legit.
dare
That's
you,
okay.
sir?
Yeah.
This is Florida.
Yeah. You can trade anything for anything. Like
This is the barter system, sir.
Literally.
honestly, like I would try, if I own the convenience store, I'd give him the 12-pack of beer and let go of the alligator. I feel like it's a win-win. Like I don't want that guy to keep the alligator. Like this guy is trying to trade an alligator. What else do you think he's going to trade it for if he's going to trade it for a
Sure.
6-pack, you know?
Sure. We got to get that alligator out of the guy's hands for real.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not ending well. That's the best that story can end, actually.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just don't want it to go into my hands.
No,
The alligator, that is.
Why would it go into your hands?
Well, you said he's gonna give it to you, and you're gonna release it, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say put it right here in the store, and then I'm just gonna leave. That's it.
No. See, that's where you're wrong. You're not saying that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not the owner anymore. At this point, I'm just like a guy. I'm managing the store. I don't really care. So I'm
He's
out.
switching up his roles mid-story here.
Yeah, I just sold the company.
The manager's in the bathroom taking a shit. Jason's like, "Yeah, sure, man. Take as much beer as you want. I don't care."
Yeah. Without a doubt.
It's definitely me on the bike taking a shit in the bathroom.
Yeah. It's like, is
For
that
sure.
alligator? Oh, fuck it.